In this section we need to cover some of these basics. First we cover what are automations, AI automations and AI agents. Then I want to give you a broad overview of the platforms that can be used, for example Zapier, Make.com, N8N, the LangChain ecosystem, with LangGraph, Flowise, CrewAI, AutoGen and a lot more. If we build stuff, we work with APIs. That's why I also need to explain to you what an API exactly is. The brain of our automations is always an LLM, and I also want to explain you in more detail what an LLM is and how an LLM works. You will also learn what tokens are. You need to understand this because I also show you what the OpenAI API is, how to work with the OpenAI API, and how these tokens are priced and what model you should use, because we have also models with test time compute and a lot more. And you need to understand how to create new projects, new API keys, and how to manage all of this. Then we need to take a closer look at function calling. So basically, what is function calling? Because our agents can use tools. That's called function calling. And you need to understand what are vector databases, direct technology and embeddings models. Like I said, if you already know all of this, you can skip through the whole section. But I would strongly recommend you to understand these basics, because you need to understand this later in the course. I have already explained some of these concepts in other courses. So this is basically a theoretical overview of all of these concepts, of APIs, of tokens, of LLMs and much more. So see you of course in the next video, and if you want to dive straight into practice, you can skip this section. But like I said, I would strongly recommend you to understand these basics.